before humans fully understood the power of the largest ocean on the planet. Before science discovered the giants beneath its deep waters. There already existed a world where power was decided by size, speed, and instinct. In the vast heart of the Pacific Ocean, ocean giants move in silence, clashing, hunting, and surviving in a world where there is no place for weakness. Welcome to the Pacific Ocean, the brutal clash between the giants of the ocean. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate us to create more quality content. Don't forget to leave your comments below so we can discuss together. Let's begin. The waters stretch as far as the eye can see. Underwater abysses hide the darkest secrets, and reefs host an extraordinary amount of marine life. Immense schools of sardines fill the waters. The royal albatross soars through the skies, and the colossal blue whale dominates the depths. This is the Pacific Ocean, an aquatic world the size of entire continents. In this empire, ruled by the waters, nature reveals its most untamed and captivating side. A wide variety of wild species roam the seas. Pods of dolphins dazzle with their acrobatics above the surface. Starfish cling silently to the corals, adorning the seabed. In the depths, where light barely penetrates, the giant Pacific octopus glides with mysterious elegance. In this submerged world, life sprouts in every corner, even beneath the marine rocks. Gigantic humpback whales intone their powerful songs, audible for kilometers. The sperm whale, a ghost of the depths, swims through the darkness with no company but solitude. Clownfish stand out with their striking colors in this diverse ecosystem. But in contrast to its name, the immense waters of this submerged kingdom are anything but peaceful. Out at sea, the appearance of a fin on the horizon is a presage of death. While a small seal swims placidly, a gigantic great white shark emerges from the depths. With a single bite, it tears its defenseless prey apart, staining the waters red. In the North Pacific, near the coasts of Alaska, the dreaded elephant seal dives hundreds of meters deep. No prey is safe from its ingenious hunting strategies in the dark waters. Not even this colossal mammal is exempt from being devoured by other predators. Pods of orcas rise as the worst nightmare for any wild species. Like a coordinated group of assassins, there is no way to escape their attack. Their presence in the distance is an imminent signal of death. With an area of more than 160 million square kilometers, the Pacific is the largest ocean on the planet. It covers an area approximately 10 times the size of Russia, representing nearly a third of the Earth's surface. To the north, the icy waters of the Bering Sea represent the northern limit of this vast world. In the south, the border is established by the frozen margins of the Ross Sea. To the east, the Pacific coast of Colombia stands as one of its most oriental points. To the west, nearly 20,000 kilometers away, the coasts of Indonesia mark the end of this submerged kingdom. While it appears as an imposing blue horizon, it is home to approximately 25,000 islands. These range from large island masses like Australia to small archipelagos of just a few dozen square meters. Each of these islets represents an almost virgin ecosystem where nature manifests in unimaginable ways. The true mysteries rest beneath its dark waters. At more than 11,000 meters deep, the Challenger Deep stands as the deepest point on Earth. This place in the Mariana Trench hosts life forms that have yet to be discovered. The Pacific Ocean welcomes unprecedented biodiversity due to its colossal dimensions. This immense underwater ecosystem is home to hundreds of thousands of species of invertebrates. It hosts approximately 80 species of marine mammals, including cetaceans and pinnipeds. It also features hundreds of species of seabirds and dozens of species of reptiles. From the vast waters of this ocean, death personified emerges in the jaws of a colossal great white shark. This predator measures more than 6 meters long and weighs 2 tons. With a bite formed by 50 sharp teeth, this shark becomes a living nightmare. It attacks fish, seals, sea lions, dolphins, and even other large marine mammals. Although the inevitable end of its victims usually occurs at the surface, the ambush begins in the depths. This gigantic fish swims stealthily in search of a victim. Thanks to its keen sense of sight, this skillful carnivore can detect its prey in the dark. Its eyes can function even in very low light conditions. The placement of its eyes provides it with a wide field of vision of nearly 360 degrees. This allows it to monitor its entire surroundings without letting any prey escape. It possesses surprising sensory abilities that allow it to perceive the slightest changes in pressure. This is very useful for detecting a small seal swimming or a school of fish approaching. Once it locates its prey, the experienced predator approaches with caution. it slowly ascends toward the surface to prepare its final attack. When it gets close enough, it lunges at full speed. Thanks to the surprise factor and the power of its bite, few wild animals can escape. With a leap, the voracious carnivore emerges from the waters with the catch between its teeth. It usually finishes its prey in a single strike almost instantly. Occasionally, it delivers a test bite when dealing with large prey. After this initial attack, the predator waits a few minutes for the prey to succumb to its wounds. This modus operandi allows it to avoid injury when the size of its victim is very large. While it prefers an ambush, it has no problem stalking them in high-speed chases. Capable of swimming at nearly 60 kilometers per hour, few prey live to tell the tale after being pursued by it. Regardless of its hunting strategy, the wild predator always swallows its victims. Since its bite is not made for chewing, it tears the flesh of large prey in one pull. When dealing with small catches, it swallows them whole directly. If the hunt has been fruitful, the shark must hurry to take advantage of the abundant meat. The smell of fresh blood soon attracts other conspecifics to the feast. Unlike gregarious species, these encounters between white sharks are usually not friendly. With a limited food source, conflicts over the meat are inevitable. They try to avoid direct physical contact that could cause them serious injury. These demonstrations consist of specific swimming patterns, such as swimming in circles. They also include body movements like lifting the snout and arching the back. Additionally, they open their mouths excessively to display their lethal teeth and intimidate the rival. Occasionally, the dispute is resolved through an inevitable and fierce battle. Both sharks launch their massive bites directly at the opponent's body. Generally, the confrontation lasts a few minutes but can leave serious wounds. The victor is left free to continue stalking hundreds of wild species in the Pacific. Even though a great white shark wouldn't even see a tiny clownfish as prey, these small swimmers prefer to be safe than sorry. As soon as they detect a formidable predator nearby, they hide in the rugged seabed. Nearby corals, crevices between rocks, and sea anemones are perfect refuges. These places prevent them from ending up in the stomachs of predators or other voracious carnivores of the depths. The relationship between clownfish and anemones is so close that they are even called anemone fish. They possess a special layer of mucus that protects them from the toxins present in the tentacles. In this way, the eye-catching fish take refuge inside, avoiding any possible attack. If a predator approaches the poisonous tentacles, the toxin will take effect on its body, leaving it momentarily paralyzed. Given their small size of no more than 11 centimeters and their bright orange appearance, they cannot camouflage themselves on the seabed. Their only defense against predators consists of hiding in a refuge as soon as they spot a threat. When the fearsome predators have moved away, clownfish usually come out in search of food. Despite their calm and harmless appearance, these colorful fish are actually omnivores. They have no problem getting their fins bloody once in a while to satisfy their appetite. Their diet is varied and includes algae, small crustaceans, zooplankton, and even food remains from the anemone. After feeding, these fish usually return to the safety of their home in the anemone. Far from living in solitude, clownfish are quite social and prefer to live in small family groups. These groups are usually made up of a dominant female, a breeding male, and several subordinate males. This strict hierarchy is established based on the size of each individual. The larger fish dominate the smaller ones in this social order. Something surprising about this species is that they are all born as males and undergo a transformation driven by hormonal changes. When the dominant female dies or is expelled, the breeding male becomes a functional female. This change is completely irreversible and will place the group's reproductive responsibilities on his shoulders. The one who was the second male in the hierarchy rises and assumes the task of reproducing alongside the new female. This behavior is a measure to guarantee reproductive success by concentrating resources on the largest pair. In addition to handling reproduction, the dominant pair maintains strict control over the other members. When an anemone hosts too many individuals, the dominants expel some subordinates. They expel specimens whose size is too close to theirs to avoid competition for resources. A strategy for newly arrived fish is to stay smaller than their immediate superior. But in this complex hierarchical system, being larger doesn't always guarantee dominance. Occasionally, subordinates try to alter the social structure, to which the dominants respond harshly. The dominants use elaborate displays, loud sounds, and chases to maintain order. The rituals include high-ranking individuals chasing their subordinates while emitting long pulses. Faced with such behavior, lower-ranking fish respond with faster pulses and head shaking. But having rebellious subordinates is not the only threat to the group's peace. When an anemone is located in a prime spot, intruders appear with intentions of taking over their home. Against these invaders, the dominant pair assumes the greatest responsibility for defense. The clownfish actively pursue the invaders and even go as far as delivering direct bites to their fins. In some cases, they end up killing them as a display of the savagery in the depths. While clownfish deal with the challenges of the reefs, the colossal sperm whale prefers to live in the dark abysses, weighing up to 45 tons and reaching a length of about 16 meters. It is the largest toothed predator on the planet. Its massive size and elusive nature make it one of the most fascinating creatures in the ocean. The bulkiest males prefer to live in waters near the poles where food is abundant. These cetaceans can easily sustain their hermit lifestyle in the middle of the sea's darkness. Given its dimensions, this colossus is not satisfied with a few fish and devours up to 2 tons a day. The diet of this hungry cetacean holds a mystery, as it feeds mainly on giant squids. These prey are not easy to capture in the depths where sunlight does not exist. This cetacean depends on a sophisticated echolocation system since it cannot rely on sight. Through powerful clicks, the sperm whale can scan its environment in search of a victim. Since finding a massive cephalopod in the dark is not fast, the sperm whale uses its diving skills. It is capable of spending up to an hour submerged without needing to surface. The cetacean knows that the 750-kilogram squid will not perish without a fight. Therefore, like an experienced hunter, it advances with the utmost stealth when it locates a potential prey. A battle of colossal dimensions is about to be fought in one of the most isolated places on the planet. The cetacean has a powerful bite and teeth that can weigh up to 1 kilogram each. The sperm whale launches its powerful bite against the squid's body, which can cause the loss of several tentacles. The squid may eject a cloud of ink to try to confuse the predator. The duel almost always ends with the sperm whale satisfying its appetite with an enormous prey. Of course, the predator takes away several scars as a souvenir of the battle. The now satisfied cetacean ascends from the depths to the surface to oxygenate its body. It spends between 5 and 15 minutes out after having remained submerged for more than an hour. Sperm whales surface to enjoy a brief rest in intervals of about 7 minutes a day. This species takes these naps with the body in a vertical position a few meters from the surface. In contrast to the solitary life of male sperm whales in polar zones, females usually inhabit warm tropical waters. They generally live in groups of up to 20 individuals along with their young. Unlike the giant males, female sperm whales can weigh around 15 tons. This is equivalent to approximately 1/3 of the male's weight, while calves weigh about 1,000 kilograms at birth. Given the large size of newborns, it is easy to understand that the gestation period is not short. Pregnancy can last up to 16 months, and mothers nurse for up to 42 months. In this demanding stage of child rearing, the close social ties between females are fundamental. They form true nursery units where some take charge of caring for the calves while the rest go out to feed. Females and juveniles use click vocalizations to strengthen their social bonds. Likewise, physical interactions such as rubbing their bodies or playing together constitute another way to reinforce the ties. Over time, the young are gradually integrated into collective life. They even accompany their mothers during their long dives in search of food. During their first years of life, the young learn essential hunting, diving, and communication skills. Upon reaching maturity between 6 and 10 years of age, males leave the group to seek their own territories. Males travel thousands of kilometers toward the dark abysses near the poles. Meanwhile, females remain within the group for their entire lives, forming part of an impressive matriarchal social structure. While sperm whales cruise the Pacific at great depths, majestic hawksbill turtles prefer shallow coastal waters. They generally settle at depths of less than 70 meters near reefs. They possess a robust amber-colored shell with light and dark streaks in brown and black tones. This reptile differs from other turtles by its elongated head and its beak-like, pronounced and hooked mouth. Thanks to their flattened body and a shell that can reach up to 1 meter in length, they can swim at speeds of up to 24 kilometers per hour. They use their muscular front flippers, equipped with sharp claws, to move with great precision. While the front flippers provide propulsion, the rear ones are responsible for providing stability by acting as a rudder. They move with surprising agility, able to perform tight turns and move backward. They can hold their breath for periods of up to 80 minutes and descend to depths close to 70 meters. To withstand the pressure during these dives, their flattened body plays a crucial role. Despite their affinity for reefs, hawksbill turtles do not lead a sedentary life. When the breeding season arrives, they set off for very distant nesting beaches on journeys of thousands of kilometers. Being a philopatric species, they return to their birthplace to mate. One of their most notable routes connects the waters of Vanuatu with the eastern coasts of Australia. This journey can lead them to travel nearly 2,500 kilometers across the rough waters of the Pacific. Such a feat is not without its dangers, as they are exposed to the constant threat of large predators. Among their main threats are tiger sharks, other large marine sharks, and even the great white shark. Near the coasts, saltwater crocodiles represent a constant danger to their survival. Their most obvious defense is their hard shell made of bone and keratin. However, as resistant as it is, this shield can yield to the bite of a large shark. Upon detecting a carnivore, hawksbill turtles take advantage of the seabed's terrain to seek refuge. Thanks to their agility, they can hide among narrow reefs and rock crevices. In these places, the massive bulk of their predators works against them, forcing them to retreat. However, predators do not always let their prey escape easily. In those moments, they resort to their swimming skills to avoid being devoured by making sharp turns. They manage to defy the odds and escape a painful death. Given the enormous distances, hawksbill turtles can take up to 60 days to complete their exhausting journey. Their journey is a testament to endurance in the immensity of the Pacific. Upon arriving at the breeding beaches, females meet numerous males eagerly waiting for the opportunity to mate. Copulation between these reptiles occurs in the water, often in shallow areas. To guarantee reproductive success, a female can mate with several males and even store sperm in her body. This allows her to perform several clutches during a single breeding season. After about 3 weeks, with the eggs already fertilized, the female prepares to carry out one of the greatest feats. She emerges from the sea at the exact same beach that once saw her born. Most commonly, this reptile makes its landing during the night when the sand is cooler. At this time, most potential predators are less active. To increase her safety, the female occasionally makes false crawls onto the beach, going up onto the sand without actually nesting. This behavior is intended to confuse potential predators prowling the area. After finding a suitable spot, the future mother digs a depression in the sand with her robust front flippers to settle in. Then, she uses her rear flippers to dig the hole that will serve as a refuge for her eggs. With the nest chamber ready, the female begins laying up to 160 eggs into the warm interior. During this process, the mother enters a state of concentration in which she becomes especially vulnerable to any threat. Once the laying is finished, the skillful turtle covers the eggs with the help of her rear flippers. She throws sand over the excavated area to hide any trace of her presence. After that, the mother leaves the eggs to their fate and returns to the sea as nature dictates. This cycle can be repeated up to 5 times in a single reproductive season. It won't be until about 60 days have passed that the miracle of life will sprout from the sand with dozens of tiny turtles. These small hatchlings will have to face an unprecedented challenge as they move toward the sea across a dangerous beach. Although this is a majestic sight, it also represents a brutal test where fewer than 1 in 1,000 manages to reach adulthood. After the season culminates, both females and males return to their respective feeding zones. During this new journey, hawksbill turtles are once again exposed to the dangers of the open sea. Falling into the crosshairs of a colossal white shark is a challenge, but facing the apex predator of the seas is much worse. Regardless of the species, when an orca cruises the waters, very few prey have a chance of escape. Weighing up to 5 tons and with a body 9 meters long, these voracious dolphins are the most fearsome predators. The danger increases because these hunters of the depths usually live in pods with an average of up to 12 individuals. These cetaceans possess a powerful bite formed by teeth up to 10 centimeters long. The most dangerous weapon of orcas is undoubtedly their extraordinary intelligence. These mammals use their brains of up to 7 kilograms to deploy sophisticated behaviors in both hunting and social relations. With an appetite capable of demanding up to 150 kilograms of food a day, they know that only through teamwork can they satisfy such a demand. During their hunts, practically no marine species is completely safe. In these expeditions, the entire group usually participates, acting as a perfectly coordinated unit to kill. Although their brute strength would allow them to take down many prey, orcas prefer to calculate every movement with precision. Their sophisticated communication dialects play a crucial role. Through clicks and whistles, these dolphins stay in close contact to adapt their strategy to the type of prey they are pursuing. These skilled hunters can adopt different tactics depending on the occasion. When dealing with large schools of fish, orcas surround a portion of the school to concentrate their efforts on a manageable target. They employ their advanced sense of echolocation, emitting clicks to locate their victims. Whether in murky waters or over great distances, they manage to find dense schools of herring that represent a feast. With the prey located, the hunters swim in circles to form a gigantic concentration known as a bait ball. To keep the school trapped, the orcas roll over, showing their white bellies, and emit sounds to disorient the fish. When the bait ball is compact, the orcas push it toward the surface where the lack of depth is favorable. Without losing a second, one of the orcas hits the school with a powerful tail slap, managing to stun several fish. Immediately, another hunter takes advantage of the confusion to catch them between her jaws. While some take charge of keeping the school enclosed, others feed, repeating the process again and again. After several strikes, what was once an immense school of fish is reduced to a few scattered survivors, plunged into absolute chaos. The remaining fish flee from that scene of death. Although they are already impressive during their massive fish hunts, the most wild and ruthless side of orca groups is revealed in the hunting of large marine mammals. A coordinated pod of orcas is even capable of bringing death to the largest animal on the planet, the colossal blue whale. It all begins with a high-speed chase through the depths, with the massive blue whale being harassed by up to a dozen orcas. During these races, the so-called killer whales take turns chasing their prey. This behavior is reminiscent of a wolf pack as they deliver powerful bites. Their main targets are the whale's fins and tail, as attacking those specific areas can drastically reduce its swimming ability. Another of the strategies they use to gradually exhaust their victim consists of swimming over it. They push its body toward the depths and thus prevent it from emerging to the surface to breathe. As the whale weakens, the attack becomes even more brutal. Areas like the blowhole and even the tongue of the gigantic cetacean become targets for their bites. Faced with the spectacle of a group of orcas attacking a blue whale, other pods often join in. This forms large groupings with up to 70 individuals harassing the enormous prey. After several hours of attack, as a result of the countless bites and extreme exhaustion the gigantic cetacean yields, it ends up becoming a new victim of these relentless hunters. Once the whale is dead, the orcas usually perform a peculiar celebration ritual. They perform leaps out of the water, tail slaps, and movements with their pectoral flippers. After this eye-catching celebration, these voracious carnivores prepare to tear apart the body of the enormous cetacean. With such a feast in the water, scavengers like white sharks are not long in appearing. Of course, they must act with caution, as one false move could end up making them victims as well. Despite the massive prey captured, the pod soon heads out on another hunt. Marine species barely enjoy a brief pause from the calamities caused by these feared hunters, while the blue whale has no way of hiding due to its size. Other species are lucky enough to hide in plain sight. In contrast to the giant squid, the common Pacific octopus is a cephalopod of much more modest dimensions, but equally fascinating. This creature can weigh up to 15 kilograms. Inhabiting coral reefs and rocky bottoms, the octopus usually leads a solitary and quiet life. It settles in a comfortable den consisting of a small crevice between rocks or a cave at a depth of about 200 meters. Although they spend much of the day sheltered when they're out in the open, they can deploy their extraordinary mimicry ability. Thanks to millions of specialized cells in their skin, they can literally disappear on the seabed. These cephalopods can change color in a matter of seconds and even imitate the texture of their surroundings. Thus, what at first glance looks like a marine plant or a rock may actually be a clever octopus. With countless predators in the Pacific, camouflage is one of its main tools to avoid being a victim. But its mimicry skills are not the only resource that saves it from a certain death. Lacking an internal skeleton, the octopus possesses exceptional flexibility. This allows it to squeeze through tiny openings just a few centimeters in diameter. While they usually move by supporting themselves with their arms on the seabed, when a predator approaches, they can eject water through their siphon. This provides them with considerable propulsion and allows them to swim at about 70 centimeters per second. Although this speed doesn't seem impressive when there is a reef nearby, these impulses can make the difference between life and death. Generally, octopuses create some distraction that confuses their pursuers. This clever invertebrate has several tricks capable of confusing even the most fearsome predators. One of them consists of expelling a dark cloud of ink that acts as a smokescreen. In addition to the visual coverage this measure provides, the ink contains compounds that can disorient the senses of the hunter. In an act of extreme desperation, the cephalopod can even detach one of its arms. This arm will continue to wriggle for several minutes, drawing the predator's attention. Over time, this invertebrate can completely regenerate the lost arm with hardly a trace. Despite suffering the terror of being hunted, the common Pacific octopus is also an extremely cunning predator. It does not hesitate to momentarily transform into a rock or part of the vegetation to capture its prey. As an expert ambush hunter, the octopus can spend entire hours waiting for the precise moment. Generally, crustaceans, mollusks, and small fish are the victims that fall directly into its deception. When they get dangerously close, the cephalopod abandons its camouflage and catches the prey with its suctioning suckers. Once immobilized, it takes the opportunity to kill it with the lethal strike of its horny beak. The octopus can even inject dangerous paralyzing neurotoxins that plunge the victim into a state of immobility. This facilitates its death and later aids in the digestion of its tissues. One of the species on which this cephalopod shows its bloodthirsty side is the majestic blue tang. With intense blue tones and a yellow tail, this fish is a work of art of nature. Inhabiting reefs up to 40 meters deep, these fish lead a fairly quiet life. They are generally found alone or, in the luckiest cases, in pairs. As a good diurnal species, these small fish leave their refuge in search of food with the first rays of the sun. Although they are omnivores, blue tangs show a clear preference for a herbivorous diet. They usually consume macroalgae and are accustomed to scraping plant remains off rocks and corals. They play a crucial role in the reef by helping to control the overgrowth of algae. When, in addition to feeding on algae, they must take on the role of small hunters. Their prey is unambitious and includes zooplankton and small crustaceans. Since their targets are not known for being elusive, surgeonfish do not need to develop particularly sophisticated hunting skills. Feeding almost constantly, these small inhabitants of the deep require regular access to different food sources. After spending several hours in search of food, the blue tang returns to the safety of the reef, where it will spend the night resting. Generally, the chosen place for rest is the crevices between rocks where its predators cannot surprise it while it sleeps. With the return of daylight to its corner of the ocean, the tiny fish returns to activity in search of something to eat. However, on this occasion, its journey is interrupted by the presence of a possible threat to its survival. A large grouper approaches, knowing that it can find an appetizing morsel in him. Despite its modest physical conditions, when cornered by a predator, the surgeonfish shows where its name comes from. No surgeon is complete without his scalpel, and in the case of this fish, that role is played by a pair of sharp and poisonous spines. Although they normally remain folded and hidden within a groove, when the fish feels threatened, it deploys them to face formidable carnivores. When a predator launches its bite against the surgeonfish, those spines can stick in and release a toxin directly into the wound. This attack causes intense pain and subsequent inflammation in the affected area. Immediately upon feeling wounded, predators usually release the fish, thus giving it its perfect opportunity to escape. Most commonly, after such an unpleasant experience, the predator avoids trying to devour another of these clever survivors. However, in some instances, certain predators don't give it time to deploy its spines and swallow it whole. While this allows them to catch it, it can also turn that meal into an extremely painful experience. If the spines remain extended inside the body, they can cause serious injury to both the mouth and the internal organs of the carnivore. The blue tang also unsheathes its spines when one of its conspecifics gets dangerously close to its territory. Although this species can be tolerant of other fish, its temperamental side surfaces with members of its own species. It does not tolerate, under any pretext, the intrusion of another surgeonfish into its domains. While the small fish defends its territory, a large group of toothed cetaceans swims with extraordinary coordination not far from there. This time, it's not the dangerous orcas, but their peaceful relatives, dolphins. With a captivating appearance, dolphins take advantage of the abundance offered by the tropical waters of the Pacific. Despite being distant relatives of orcas, these cetaceans are of a more moderate size, up to 2.5 meters long. The trait that most distinguishes them from the apex predator of this ecosystem is their much more elongated and well-defined snout. For dolphins, the key to survival in this underwater world lies in group living. They are extremely social and live in groupings that can bring together from a few dozen to thousands of individuals. In these large groups, their communication skills play a fundamental role in daily life. Dolphins master an almost infinite repertoire of vocalizations that includes whistles, clicks, and moans. Whistles are usually used in social communication, while clicks are part of their advanced echolocation system. By emitting high-frequency clicks, they create a sound image to identify the location and movement of fish. Like orcas, dolphins gather schools of fish into dense bait balls where the prey becomes more manageable. With the fish already grouped, the dolphins launch the attack using their robust tail fin to deliver strong blows. The impact leaves several fish stunned or dead, allowing the hunters to seize them with ease. Some groups choose to herd schools into shallow waters where any chance of escape is remote. Once the bait ball is formed, each dolphin lunges again and again, catching several fish in each charge. Although they are slippery, their jaws, equipped with up to 70 teeth, allow them to capture their prey without difficulty. Although group hunting is their specialty, when a dolphin detects a squid, it may start a solo pursuit. During these high-speed runs, at up to 60 kilometers per hour, it manages to catch almost any potential victim. Thanks to its extraordinary agility, it can make sharp turns and sudden changes of direction to prevent the prey from escaping. Once it is at the appropriate distance, the cetacean has several ways to attack. When they are not immersed in elaborate hunts, these mammals dedicate themselves to strengthening their social ties through abundant vocalizations. They also use a varied body language that includes leaps, physical contacts, and coordinated movements. The establishment of hierarchies constitutes one of the fundamental behaviors to maintain harmony. Most commonly, the cetaceans define their order through chases and tail slaps. Although these dominance rituals can be complex, they rarely become truly aggressive. There is still room for play in the busy routine of dolphins. These intelligent odontocetes perform endless recreational activities throughout the day. They include acrobatic games such as jumps out of the water, spins in the air, and movements with the pectoral flippers. Interaction with objects is also part of their playful behavior. They play with algae, feathers, or even with bubbles that they create themselves. After an intense day, the dolphins prepare to take a well-deserved rest. They adopt unihemispheric sleep, which means they sleep with only one half of the brain while the other remains active. This unique behavior allows them to keep breathing, keep moving, and stay alert to the presence of predators. Instead of sleeping for long periods, dolphins prefer to take brief rests. Not far from there, one of the largest fish in the world swims placidly, waving its massive pectoral fins, weighing up to 2,300 kilograms and with a wingspan of about 8 meters. The oceanic manta ray dominates these waters. Its flattened body and its long whip-like tail make it stand out in the midst of the Pacific's biodiversity. The dark coloration of its back allows it to camouflage itself with the ocean's darkness from above. Its white ventral surface allows it to blend with the glare of sunlight when viewed from below. Despite its intimidating appearance, its diet is composed almost entirely of zooplankton. To feed, they usually swim with the mouth wide open, deploying their cephalic lobes. These help to channel the plankton-laden water toward the mouth and gills. Due to their enormous size, they need to ingest large amounts of food, consuming up to 13% of their weight per week. These manta rays need to swim constantly to maintain a flow of water that allows them to breathe. These fish are not only social with those of their own species, gathering in areas rich in food. They can also be docile in the presence of other fish, birds, and even marine mammals. From those same deep waters emerges a gigantic marine mammal that can reach up to 4 tons in weight. The elephant seal maintains a diet based almost exclusively on small fish and nutritious cephalopods. The colossus will pay no attention to the massive manta, diving to about 1,600 meters deep. This mammal carefully scans the seabed in search of food. With an appetite capable of devouring up to 2,000 fish a day, this giant cannot surface with an empty stomach. Due to its enormous energy needs, these dives can last up to an hour. This huge mammal possesses prodigious skills as a diver, being able to hold its breath for long periods. It moves with great ease through the seabed in an environment where pressure dominates every aspect. Thanks to its keen sense of sight, this carnivore can navigate even where sunlight barely manages to penetrate. However, the best tool is its sensitive vibrissae, capable of detecting the slightest movements. Day after day, elephant seals repeat these abyssal dives, managing to satisfy their high dietary demands. This excessive consumption of resources aims to prepare the male for the start of the breeding season. Although they spend up to 90% of their life at sea, when the call of nature presents itself, they head to the beaches. After having accumulated large reserves of fat, this colossus seeks to copulate with as many females as possible. In the world of elephant seals, reproduction is a privilege for which males must fight fiercely. Upon landing on the beach, the elephant seal encounters another bulky male who has claimed the spot. This conflict can only be resolved through a combat charged with violence and brutality. As soon as he spots the rival, the dominant bull raises his head and inflates his proboscis as a signal of intimidation. With dominance of a beach full of females at stake, the challenger is not willing to withdraw without a fight. With a powerful roar, he makes it clear that he doesn't plan to take a single step back. As the growls announcing violence increase, both males lunge at each other. They deliver brutal charges and launch tearing bites directly at the opponent's neck. Each contender tries to subdue his enemy without the slightest show of mercy. Only after several minutes, the smaller male ends up surrendering to the dominant one upon becoming exhausted by his wounds. The loser must immediately leave the beach while the victor remains defending his territory against new rivals. As the days pass, hundreds of females will begin to arrive with whom he can copulate until exhaustion. Although the season constitutes an impressive spectacle, it also involves countless risks to the survival of the males. During these combats, many sires perish due to the serious wounds suffered. Others, upon returning wounded to the sea, are exposed to predation by relentless orcas. Killer whales will not pass up such an abundant and easy-to-capture prey. Setting aside these acts of predation by cetaceans, the greatest predator of elephant seals is the human being. During the 19th century, this species was hunted ruthlessly due to the commercial value of its meat, fat and skin. This practice brought these mammals to the brink of extinction, but today they have shown important signs of recovery. One of the wild species that is critically endangered today is the majestic hawksbill turtle. These captivating reptiles have been decimated as a consequence of the consumption of their meat and the use of their shell for decorative purposes. Small clownfish are also not free from being threatened by human activities. Due to the increase in water temperature and the deterioration of ecosystems, the anemones fundamental for their survival are suffering degradation. This phenomenon and coral bleaching are destroying the habitat of this emblematic species of the Pacific. Not even the powerful predators of these seas are safe from threats derived from human influence. Each year, thousands of cetaceans, including orcas, die accidentally when trapped in industrial fishing nets. This practice causes serious damage to marine ecosystems. Hundreds of thousands of species are threatened by overfishing, plastic pollution, oil spills, and global warming. The good news is that there is still time to reverse this outlook through more responsible management of fishing resources. The implementation of policies that limit the dumping of waste into the sea can improve the living conditions of the species. It is still possible to pull animals away from the risk of an almost inevitable extinction. Have you been surprised by the stories of wildlife of the marine species of the Pacific Ocean? If so, don't leave without giving us your like, and without leaving us in the comment box which species impressed you the most. If you want to stay tuned for our upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our releases. If you want more and more people to discover the majestic creatures of the Pacific, you can also share this video with your friends. See you next time with new stories of lonely giants, infinite schools, and, above all, tales of wildlife.